My name is Jake Williams. I'll be presenting a demo today on behalf of the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association. And we're going to feature Michigan-grown herbs with some Michigan ingredients. So today we'll be using parsley, tarragon, and dill. Also salmon will be our main protein. I've got some mushrooms, which are available all year round in Michigan. And since it's in the beginning of spring, we're going to be using some asparagus. You could use any type of Michigan-grown vegetable in the fall. I might use Brussels sprouts with this, for example. I've also pre-cooked, parboiled some Yukon Gold potatoes, and we will use all of these ingredients to make one plated dish. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is get our pans heated up. So I'm going to sear the salmon first. So while our pan's heating up, I'm just going to season my salmon. So with a little salt and pepper. And then I also have our Michigan Summer Blend. These are some dried herbs. We're going to add some fresh herbs to the salmon also. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of our fresh herbs and our salt and pepper and get our salmon seasoned. So while that's heating up, I'm going to chop up some of our mushrooms. So we're just going to do a slice on our mushrooms right here. And if you're making this for more than one person, we're probably going to use, of course, multiple pieces of salmon. So just some nice slices on our mushrooms. All right, so we have a nice selection of our mushrooms. So I've already taken the asparagus and the portion that you don't want, the very woody portion of the asparagus, I just broke it off. So these pieces of asparagus have already been washed and they're ready to go. So I've got some dill here, some fresh dill. So there's 3 herbs that we're going to use on the salmon. I've also got some tarragon and some parsley. So I'm just going to take the fronds of dill, so these sections right here, and I'm going to pull them off of the stems. So with fresh herbs, whether you're growing them out of your garden or you're getting them in a store, we want to take the best pieces, the essence of those herbs, and pull them off. So also, don't take and throw your stems out. We want to save these stems. They're really great to put in stocks and season other things. You can take dill stems and use those in vinegars to flavor them. At my house, whenever we have an abundance of cucumbers at the end of the summer, you can put those dill stems in there and make some dill pickles, which are really great. We just want the leaves, right? The leaves are the fronds from these. So our tarragon, we're going to pull off all these leaves. It's going to make a really, really great topping for our salmon. Again, we're going to save our stems from our tarragon. These can go in a freezer bag to use in stocks. I might use it in any type of vegetable stock or a fish stock. So if we had the whole salmon, I might use that for some of the fish bones and so forth. We want to use all the pieces of our fresh herbs that we can and utilize those at a later date. Got my dill, my tarragon, and my parsley. I'm going to chop all of these up. So we don't have to chop it up super fine. This is going to be a topping for our salmon. Do want to mix them all together, but chop them separately. Wish you could all smell these right now. We're just going to put them in our bowl here and mix all of these herbs together. This combination goes really well with a lot of fish and a lot of vegetables. Now we're going to sear our salmon. So we're going to put in about a tablespoon of light olive oil, and we're going to sear our salmon. And while our salmon's searing, we're also going to get started on our potatoes. So again, I've cut up the potatoes already, and I've par cooked them so they can get good and crispy. So we want to make sure we get a nice browning on all of our Yukon Golds here. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of oil into the pan off to the side here for my potatoes while my salmon's going. So we're browning up our potatoes. I'm just going to add a little bit of this Italian blend to our potatoes. Turn our burner now that they're browned a little bit on low. Just going to add another teaspoon or so of oil. My salmon is seared. Want that skin nice and crispy. Just going to take and flip over our salmon very carefully. So as you can see, got a nice crispy skin on our salmon. You know, if you're getting salmon from the market, make sure that you descale it. Just make sure all the scales are gone off the back. That skin's really good. It's got a lot of flavor in it. For those of you who haven't eaten the skin of fish before, getting it nice and crispy is really what you want. Highly recommend it. Lots of really good unsaturated fats in there. So my potatoes are nice and brown. That's why we want to cook them beforehand. We just want to make sure, as you can see, like got some good golden color on it. And now I'm going to add in just a little bit of leftover parsley that I had from our blend that we're going to put on our fish. So we're just going to bring out all those flavors of the parsley, all the natural oils and some of the chlorophyll in it. All right, I'm just going to check, see how my fish is. Looks like it's almost, my salmon, looks like it's almost ready. We're just going to flip it over. So we've got all those really great dried herbs on the salmon here. And I'm just going to take it up a little bit more because we're going to let the salmon rest here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to plate the salmon, let it rest, and while it's resting, I'm going to sear my mushrooms and my asparagus. So right into the pan can go my mushrooms. So the mushrooms are very absorbent. They're going to pick up a lot of that flavor from the salmon. So I like to call them nature's little sponges, right? But very flavorful. So I'm just going to do like a quick sear on the mushrooms. I'm going to add just a little bit more oil into that, some olive oil here. And this is light olive oil, so it's not going to overpower the flavor of the fish or the asparagus. I'm going to put a little salt and pepper onto our mushrooms as we sear those. And then I'm going to add in some of our Michigan Summer Blend. Again, that's got the parsley, the tarragon, and the dill in it. We really want all those flavors to come out and accent the flavors of summer with the fish and the potatoes. So my potatoes are pretty crispy now. That's about where I want them. So I'm just going to set my temperature down to low and keep those warm while my fish is resting. All right, so my mushrooms are pretty much done. Can take them up a little bit farther if you want to. I'm just going to add these right onto my plate. In the same pan, I'm going to sear my asparagus. Just going to turn up the heat a little bit. We really want to blister the asparagus, give it that really good flavor. So again, we're going to add a little salt and pepper and some of the Michigan Summer Blend. So while I'm blistering my asparagus, I'm going to add my potatoes to our plate. Some nice golden and crispy Yukon Golds. You could use any type of potato with this. Our asparagus is done. And remember, your vegetables are going to cook a little bit more, right? You're going to have some carryover cook time. So don't take them all the way to 100% of the doneness, right? You want to cook them so that by the time you're ready to actually eat, everything is ready to go. And then what I like to do is I like to just take and put some fresh herbs right on top of this salmon. So you know the salmon's going to have that great unsaturated fat in it. Right, so you could finish this with some wine or a little bit of butter, or even use some more olive oil that you have left over in the pan. All of that's really, really great. And so we've got our fresh herb blend, we've got our salmon, we've got our asparagus and mushrooms, and Yukon Gold potatoes, some of the bounty of Michigan, and made with a lot of fresh herbs.